Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, or as Deirdre would say, happy hump day. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the morning show. Hi, Annie7. Hi, Andrea and Brandy. So good to see all of you. Let's do our heart brain coherence this morning. And on your heart, and slow down the breathing. And then add in the love. Let the love flow into your heart and out of your heart. Breathe in peace and release peace. Breathe in joy and breathe out joy. And then bring somebody in there with you. Pull somebody into your heart. Give them a big, big, big heart hug. And then see if they come in here to see you. It works beautifully. Good morning, Sally and Tony. Thank you for sharing. Good morning, Don Baker. And thank you. I feel great. I feel so much better. I think I'm probably back to 100%, maybe even 110. Good morning, Kathy Hand. Oh, that's right. She did let me know she was having blood work this morning and that she would try to come in if she could when she gets back. Blue Jean, good morning. Love Light Creations by Sassy. I love it. I know we were kicking around some names. I really did like the cheeky one, but I also like Sassy. So I'm glad that a name landed for you, Kathy Hand. Good morning, Kathleen Caputo. And you're bringing our Auntie Jean in. Good. Let's get her in here. Darlene, good morning to you. Let's get our Hope Wellington Marshall in here. I heard from her. I'm so relieved and happy that I did hear from her. And she's doing better. So I'm hoping that she'll come in and join with us today. And I'm also hoping I get to meet up with her in November because Dr. Ruth Anderson and Deb Goldberg and I are planning a trip in November to go to Egypt, to go to the pyramids. So we're so excited about that. We're working hard on getting everything together for that, getting funding and everything together as well, so that we'll be able to take that trip. So how's everybody doing? It is prayer day, and I've got the presentation uploading. If there are any additions on our prayer list, then please let me know. I see we have kitty cats roaming around here. They've been a little restless, and they let me know that it was time for the show this morning. So you can thank the kitty cats for getting me up out of bed. I am worthy. I am enough. Miracles and happiness happen to me every day. I am healthy. There you go, Brandy. Your affirmations. Oh, you're still deciding. Okay. Well, whatever name you come up with is going to be perfect, Kathy. So yes, those miracles happen every day. And I definitely had a big, big miracle happen to me yesterday, you guys, when I took the Angel Mobile, Angel Serenity. I took her in to have the part replaced that I was told it needed, which was a very expensive part. I mean, we're talking about almost $1,000 in repair on the Angel Mobile. And I waited in the waiting room for them to assess it because I said, please make sure that it needs the part before you jerk it out and replace it. And about an hour later, the guy came out and told me that they had gone over it, and the part was okay. I did not have to have it replaced. So I can't tell you the relief I felt at that miracle coming through, because that was going to be really, really tight to have to put out the money for that part. And it's an important part of the vehicle because it controls the steering. And I'm like, okay, this is this is not something to just ignore and hope it'll go away. But obviously, the angels decided to get in there with little wrenches and tighten it up. Good morning, Jim. You're on your way to work, but at least getting to spend a few minutes with all of us. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you have a wonderful day, Jim, and I hope work goes well for you. So anyway, that was my big miracle yesterday, was having that happen, and it was just it was mind blowing actually to sit. I sat there and I looked at the guy and I was in tears and I said, "Are you sure that that part is okay?" Because as much as it was going to hurt financially, I want the Angel Mobile to be safe to drive down the road. And sure enough, they had gone over it a couple of times. They looked at both sides, and everything was working perfectly as it should be. It certainly was. Yeah, it was definitely my miracle. And I got to talk to a few nice people there in the waiting room, so that was good too. All right, so today is prayer day. I've got a message from Kuan Yin. If I can just get the right card to come out. I've been shuffling and shuffling. Let's see what that card might be. And we'll read the pages from Angels in My Pocket. Let's do two of them today because we're trying to all get on the same page. And so we're hopefully going to catch up with you, Kathy. We'll do page, I think it's 18 and 19 today that we'll do. And then we should be almost at the same place. All right, so Kuan Yin's message is, grace carries you home. At the end of your efforts, when your resources are exhausted and you are without further recourse, I am there for you with loving wild grace to carry you home. I feel like I got grace yesterday, big time, with my miracle. And grace does carry us home. We can sit in that energy and just bathe in it. So beautiful. And Blue says, holy smokes, I just booked the horse trailer to move the horses here. So exciting. Yay, yay, yay. Good morning, Catherine Kovacs. All right, let's go ahead and get the angel messages from the Angels in My Pocket. And I hope Little Pocket is listening. She is our mascot for the book. There was an angel message last night called Radiant Resolve. And it was kind of like the discussion that we had yesterday about how we intend for our day to be, how we intend for our life to be, that resolve that we make to weather any storm. We can do it with brilliance. We can decide that we are going to be radiant instead of being pushed down or held back. And I think I have to sneeze. Oh, Brandy, I'm so happy for you. I love that miracle that your mom's half-sister and brother have found you. And I'm so glad that that's come together for you. That is a miracle. We're going to claim it and we're going to love on you for it. And Pocket Gazerber is standing at attention, waggle butt engaged with brilliance. Awesome. All right, Pocket, let's see what these two pages have to say to us. No one can take your power away unless you allow it to happen. There may be people who are bigger and stronger than you physically who choose to inflict harm or threaten you in some way. Realize that they are the ones with the problem and not you. As you are finding your way, remember that others are as well. If you have been in relationships where you were not seen or heard, it will be necessary to start with valuing yourself in your own eyes first. Start with reinforcing your worthiness and ignore any thoughts that tell you otherwise. Remember those affirmations. I am worthy. I am enough. I am a spark of the divine. Dear ones, divine feminine energy brings a balance to the greater cosmos and encourages each of you to step into your power and recognize your true potential. In essence, the divine feminine redefines strength as a harmonious blend of nurturing, resilience, intuition, empathy, and spiritual depth. Isn't that true? You know, when we think about the divine feminine, it's not weak at all. It's very, very strong. Think of what a mother goes through with a child. You know, all of from the childbirth through raising that child and watching it take flight into the world. Um, it's a tough, tough job. And so when we say divine feminine, it's the strong part of us that steps up. So, yeah, divine feminine energy. It brings that balance that we need. We applaud all who make love your priority. You are a living example of what can happen when the intention is made to put aside chaos and negativity and focus only on uplifting the frequency. Enjoy every precious moment together. We help you when it is too much for the mind and body to experience by shielding you. The final outcome, however, depends on you and your contract with the divine plan you have for your life. There are many points where you may choose to exit the body. We're there either way to guide you. We do have exit points and we do have opportunities and are given opportunities to say, no, not right now. I'm not ready to go yet. So I'm going to sit this one out and stay put on this planet. And I know there are some that believe that we don't have a choice at times, especially if it's something sudden, like an accident. But we do. I think we always are given a heads up and we always are given that opportunity to say, nope, I'm not ready yet. And I'm speaking from experience because I have been there with that near-death experience and said, no, I'm not quite ready yet. I'm going to stick around. All right, last one. We encourage you to take the time to go into silence, dear ones. The silence will speak loudly and clearly to you. Sometimes there will be a small voice calling your name. That is us nudging you to go inward to where the seat of your soul is just waiting to have a conversation with you. Sometimes we come in like a wrecking ball, loudly enough that you stop in your tracks and perhaps pause just long enough to feel our blessing. I love that. I love that sometimes we don't see or hear the angels, but then all of a sudden it's so obvious that they have done something. They've intervened, they've helped us, they've brought something our way, and we can see that miracle after the fact. And then there's sometimes when we know that they're there and we feel them and we acknowledge that we've been touched by an angel. So tomorrow we'll read 20 and 21, and Kathy, I think then we'll be all on the same page with this Angels in My Pocket tiny book reading that we have decided to do every day. All right, so those were some really powerful messages, weren't they? Good morning, Charlie Coons. And Kathy says, I'm still waiting for a miracle to acquire that home equity loan. Bob is stressing because the credit union has asked him to provide additional documents since he is co-signing. And I am employed by an NIH company, so the credit union has all my information. All right, so remember, you don't have to do it, Kathy. Just trust. That's the big key right now. Trust that everything is working perfectly. Let's see, what did I miss with Sally and Tony? I think I've got everything. And Brandy says, we've been talking about this together for a hot minute now. Great message. And remind me yet again. Yeah, these things that are going on, we talk about them, and then the angels just give us some confirmation, don't they? And Kathy says, I love that message too. I told Bob to just quiet his anxiety, breathe, and take care of one item at a time. Yeah, just let the angels take the lead. And then all you have to do is fall back into that trust and allow everything to show up for you, because it will. It will. If it's meant to be, it will be. And, that's been my motto for a long time now. And I just every day claim the miracles, whatever that looks like. A miracle, an answered prayer may look different from how I expect it to look. So our job is to lose those expectations and allow the angels to show us the perfection, to show us what we decided that we wanted when we came here for this human experience. And Brandy says, as anyone who has had an actual conversation with me can agree, I need to work on being silent to hear the messages. That's for all of us, Brandy. Yeah, sometimes we have so much chatter going on and we squirrel. We see a shiny object or something catches our attention, and we sometimes miss the message that the angels are giving us. And it happens with me. I'll admit, I'll raise my hand and say, yeah, I do that. I sometimes are looking left when the angels are trying to show me something to the right. And so then they have to turn me around or make a noise or something so that I'll get on board with them. But it's okay. Don't judge yourself harshly. Don't criticize. Just allow that the angels have got our back. And if we're supposed to get a message, we will get that message. It's not going to be missed. And they're going to make sure of that. It might just be delayed for a minute, right? And we could have had it 10 days ago, but we were busy doing our own thing. And then all of a sudden, there it is again. We turned another corner, and there's our miracle. And that's why I say never, ever give up. Don't give up 1 minute before that miracle happens, because sometimes it just takes the long way around. Sometimes we turn a corner before we can actually see the road ahead of us. So don't give up and don't criticize. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you think that you have missed something that the angels were showing you, because they'll show you again. They'll bring it for you. All right, we got lots and lots of prayers to lift up. This is such a crazy time on our planet, isn't it? I mean, this is a time when we can actually look outside of ourselves and say, okay, I know I came here for this, right? I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm here. And when we look at some of the things that are happening and some of the missions that we know we chose, like I know I chose peace as a mission. I know I chose trust as a huge, huge lesson for myself in this lifetime. And then I look at what's happening in the world and I look at what's surrounding me, the people, the lessons, the blessings, everything that's going on. And it's not for me to question it. It's just for me to fall back into that trust and say, I know I came here for this. I know I came here for such a time as this to help usher in a whole new era here on earth. And everything falls into place. We can look back, we can see the puzzle pieces, right? We can see everything coming to perfection. And our job is just to stay strong in our belief and to let it all play out. Even though we might think we have to fix something, the angels say there's nothing to be fixed. Our job is simply to love and to fall into that trust and just stay steady, steady forward. That's it. The only thing that we're to do. We're like turtles. We're just supposed to keep on track, keep moving forward, and don't look back. The turtle doesn't look back. It knows exactly where it's going ahead of itself. All right, so Sally, thank you for the prayers for the lost, the lonely, the forgotten, the unloved, the homeless, for all who live in fear of another, for our troops, and for our P family and our extended family as well. May we stand proudly in our divine light with love in our souls. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to put our prayer list up. Hopefully it's all uploaded. And remember that each one of these names that's on the prayer list is somebody that was put there by a member of our P family. And we lift up all of us, all the P's for peace. We pray for peace on earth. We pray for an end to human trafficking. And our job is just to bring attention to it. I'm going to be sharing the document that the angels had me create, and anyone who wants to print out some of those, it's a one-page document. You can print it out and hand it out, or make copies and place them in libraries or restrooms or anywhere that you feel like you're able to reach somebody by putting a copy there. And we also pray for people who are dealing with addiction in their families. And thank you, Brandy, for asking us to pray for all who are touched by suicide and or dementia. Sorry. All right, I'm going to turn the little birdies off because we want to get all of these names read, and I want to get my chimes out. So let's just breathe in. And we pray for Prachetta, Prachir, and Goofy, Aunt Mina and Neil, Navriti, Jasmine and her family, Billy Hawkins and her family, and lifting up especially her oldest son, Michael, going through some tough physical things right now with surgeries. Sheila and Kevin Gooden and their family, Gary Langford, Cecil Boone, and Cecil is out of the hospital, but still needs our prayers for his physical health, and praying for all of his and my sister Loretta's children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Nola, Joanne Castrillo, her husband John, and especially her daughter and her grandson, Eris, going through a lot of physical issues. Dolores Cook, LZ, Elaine, Deirdre, praying for good results for her blood work that she's doing today, and praying for Thump, Deirdre's sister Steph and husband Bob, Adriel, Tia Fernetti, Nikki, Suzanne Millard and her family, and especially her son-in-law who is deployed right now, Jacob, Marietta and Ed, Leo Harley and his family, Lakshmi, Ken, Jim, Ryan, Josie and her mom, Mary, Tammy Williams, Meg and Jim Lorio and their family, Jean and Ron Lorio, or Auntie Jean. Don't know where she's at this morning, so we lift her up. Mary Lou Burdick and her family, Catherine and Michael Kovacs, your family and your fur babies, Fred, Rosalind Good Vibes, Jimmy Wright, Sally and Tony De La Rosa and the entire De La Rosa family, and especially your grandson who is deployed in the military, Stacy Phillips, Kathy and Bob Hand and your whole family, Christina, Gage, Michael, Patty, Sonia, Paul and Marlene, Joe and his wife, Pat Moss and family, Becky LaFave and Travis, Erica Hoppy and her family, Corinne, Charlie Coons and his family, and praying for Charlie's situation for his house to sell and he can get that move going. Hope Wellington Marshall and her children and parents, and so happy to have heard from Hope and know that she's doing better. Carrie Baker, Andrea Gregg, Catherine, Annie Seven and Grayson, Cassandra and Destiny Ortega, Luz Orsini and her grandchildren and family, Christine Lewis, Gail and Nick Zimmerman, Jennifer and Micah, Oksana and her family, Herb, Caitlin and Aunt Gail, Isabel and Paul and their daughters, Beata and Juliana, Linda Lemieux and your sons and grandchildren and your friend in Sarasota, Stacy and Josh Lord and your children and grandchildren and Mary Lord, John, Tatiana, Buster, Wayne, Lindsay, Aunt Inga, Blue Jean and Dave and all of our fur babies. And I know that they're missing their gizmo, so lifting up all the fur babies that they can come to an understanding that he's not there anymore physically, but he is there, and praying for the horses, Dolly especially, to be able to get into that barn, praying for Chance and Shasta and Rain. Noelle, Rose Sermon, Gary McCorkle, Brookie Woodside and her family, especially Dylan and baby Max, and Brookie's Aunt Jeannie and Dylan's father Paul, the Girardis, Jeanette and Ernie, Lillian in Norway and her family, Kathleen Caputo, baby Wyatt, baby Haven, baby Divine and their families, Caden, Tinsley Rose, and Deirdre has joined us. Thank you, Deirdre, and we lift you up for everything to work to perfection for you. Kat, Candy and Pastor Bruce, Alba, Dottie and Don, Grace Isis and her family, Raymond, Darren Walker, Arthur Thompson, Vicki King, Elaine Armstrong, Marianne, Henrik and Lorraine and John, Jeannie Aguilar and her grandson. And I'm at Jeannie's house right now with her little fur babies, Eric, Tammy Fisk and family, Rochelle Martinez and her mom Rose, Lori, Kelly, Stephen, Catherine, Dr. Ruth Anderson and her family, and her oldest daughter is graduating from college tomorrow, so congratulations to them, and praying for her sister-in-law Sharon, Jeannie's sister Merle, Deb Goldberg and family, Michelle, Crystal and Dean Nobles and their family, Laura Hill, Julia Osborne, Sharon Rhea and family, Sherry Gatewood and her brother-in-law, Anaya Hummingbird, Tammy Hill and family, Phil B., Lynn Gallagher, Mary Crincoli and her family and friends in Florida, Irene and Eduardo, Eddie Quills, Jose, Michael Murdoch, Jessica, Fidel, Camilla and Nick, Lynn Andriozzi, Frank, Albie, Kenneth, Bobby, Mansi, Kamal, Akil and the Pakistan orphans, and we pray for the whole nation of Pakistan, Yuri, Scott, Mary, Joseph, James, Drake, Alicia Burns, Pam Dite, Kimberly, Ellen, Sue Seekoff and Richard, Dido Clark and her son Harry, Terry Gilstad, Chiara, Marissa, Claudia, Mary Ann Pish and family, Cassandra and Danny Gary, Lenny, John Thaddeus Fiore, Kuka Carney and her family, Carol Fisher, Deborah, Violet, Walter, Sue and grandchildren, Janie Stamler, Claudel Jackson, Chris Blake, Dante, Jerry, Kaylee, Trevor Jordan, Richard Weber, Charlotte Abrahams, Jerry, Michelle Landers and her family, Kagan and Wyatt Linder, Barbara Kaufman McGillicuddy, Bradley Capone, Andy, Amanda Summer, Miles and Sarah, Joanne McCann New, Whitney, Jude Dalton, Karen Gibbons and daughter, Julie Kiss and her mom and husband, Courtney, Ryan, Pat, Sophia, Aaron Parker, Angelica Kumpemans, Peggy, Claire, Carrie Klingon Butcher and family, Brian Hughes, Pat O'Connor, Yolanda, Sylvie Barnes, Robin Waters Dykes and her family, Joey, Terry, Solar and Maya, Leanne, Joanne and Leo, Sam, Matt, Charles and Nita, Yusha, Jen and Norm, Keith, Joe H., Marisol Soto, Deborah, Tyler, Chad Ehlers and daughter Mia, Dick Waters, Milton Carbajal, Tomas Diaz, Cameron, Boris Zoffman, Jacqueline Carbajal and David Reiger, Solvie Barnes and Odd Barnes, Gun Ellen Sundahl, Maria Mitchinson Hickman Simpson, Lisa Jo Davis, Jordan, Lydia, Benedita, Rebecca Stewart Rickardson, Sonia Kay, Miles, Anjali Baha, Paula Graca, David Brett, Colleen, Dellen Hickson, Richard Barnes, Cole Grayson, Brandy Chari and your family, JT, Francis Navin, Shana, Danielle Riveron and family, Chris and Natika, Elise, Kara, Pam, Christine and Ed, Barbara and Diane, Kim, Catherine DeSanti and her sister Rose, Mary Jane in Vermont, Carol Caruso, Val Meyer, Tasha, Jocelyn, Linda Kraft and family, Eric and John, Darlene Ose, Paul G., Liam G., Pam, Daniel McGraw, Minna Brumley, Rebecca Sherman, Joe Ketterer, Gabrielle, Ina, Donna, Nancy, Bailey, Jacob, Mary, Kim Bevan, Gabby Forrester, Don B., his daughter and granddaughter, Vega family, Laura, Lisa Capola Matroni, Bobby, Elaine, Shiraz, Sharu, Sandy, Adil, Laura, Evelyn Smith, Beatrice, Amina, all areas of conflict in our world, and praying especially here in the United States, all areas where there's conflict and fighting going on, all areas where people are abused, bullied, made fun of, and held out as unwanted and unloved, as Sally reminds us. Ashley Miller, Alina, Susanna, Lana, Grace-Anna, Kim Coles Ventnor, Shoshana Sabring, Stephen, Keith, LP, Adam Holmes, Bob Smith, Chris, Christina and Clint, Janine, Heather, Kim, Jennifer, Cassandra Brown Henry, Tim Smith, Jeanette and Eric, Rachel Warren and family, Mark Hunter, Pat, Ainsley Grace and her mom, Kathleen Viscomi, Betty, Judy Dorn, Kelly, Alma Jean, Jim Mershon's father, Rebecca Abraxas, Dana Rados, Darlene Trainer and your family and fur babies, Patricia, Jennifer Schwab and family, Steve Newman and Carol, Janet, Blue's sister Timmy, Margarita Estrada, Donna Sobel and her daughter Joanna, Soma, Christopher, Elsie, Emerson, Luisa Almeida, Patricia Torinas, Don Baker and his family, and especially daughter Gia, Norman Ratner and Monica, Richard Scarborough, Richard James, Kathleen's cousin in Florida, Andre Latrulia, Kathy's co-workers and supervisor, and her co-workers Amanda and Mandy especially, Rose, Danica and Annette, Mike, Emmanuel from Zambia, Lucy's mom Mary, Thandi Williams-Wise, and Bennett Hilma Mazel Kokahun, Justin Brown and family, James, Justina, Hans, Sherry Graham, the Wilk family, Ken and Tabitha, Susanna, Kelsey, Aunt Una, Max Smith, Jackie, Jeremiah, Noel Marshall and Bob Warner, Vinny, Dylan's Uncle Chris, Linda M., Martha, Shad Anderson, Joy, Holly Ann, Zita, Beiji, Ali, Bree, Stephen Hoskins, Tara, Soma, Ben, Pat, Dee Dee, Linda, Julie, Dana Benson and Kitty, Lauren, Olivia, Alex, Margie, Anne, Rio, Mark, Adam, Alexandria and Lexi, Robin Miller, Jennifer Mitchell's family, Werner, Terry, Liz Eden and Serenity, Keith Leggett's family, Leah, Gina Marie Burrell, Janine, Rihanna Stowell and family, Kathy's brother Paul, Chloe's family, Bob P., Ricard, Rhea, Paisley, Yoli, Carrie Kiss, Bentley, and Dr. Maria Hughes. And let's just lift up anyone else that you're holding in your heart going through physical, mental, spiritual, or emotional challenges right now. And God, we just pray that you've heard these prayers. We lift them up and we leave them right there with you. I'm just going to take a moment to just breathe in together, showing gratitude from our heart that every name that was spoken, every name that was thought and held in our hearts are all heard and seen and answered to the best and highest good of all. We release these prayers that we have laid before you now into your hands, knowing that your love surpasses all understanding. May we find peace in surrender, patience in waiting, and joy in receiving. Teach us to remain steadfast in hope and to look for the signs of your presence in all that unfolds. Thank you, Creator, for the blessings yet to come, the lessons we will learn, and the love that surrounds us always. So please say this prayer with me. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. We thank you, we honor you, and we bless you. And we come together as a family now to love on each other and to remember that this is our mission that we chose as a family. And thank you. Thank you to everyone who breathed in the prayers and sent love from your heart to lift them up to our Creator. I love you. I appreciate you. And you are so, so special in my heart. And I lift you all up together. So we're going to go into our exit song, which is by Leo Leo, the Morning Cuppa song. And let's just say those words of love and appreciation to
Good morning, Earthlings. It's time to get up and get ready because today's the perfect day to have a great day. Here we go, come on, come on. Come on, let's play. It's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. We're on a peaceful peace, on our mission for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead wherever we may be. We create a portal where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Calling on the guys, the angels, and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning cup full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you.
Deirdre, I'm so glad you got home in time to join us.
To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod.
Tonight, we are focusing on Archangel Raphael. And yes, this is the day for the angel class. It's also meditation excavation in an hour with Dr. Ruth Anderson. Oh, Gracie, there you are. And don't forget to smile today when you're doing that AAA. Morning cup full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy every day. Yes, it will be live streamed, Marlene. There's definitely a replay of the angel class. Thank you, I love you, namaste. All right, there really is no secret. Get ready to do the AAA dance. There really is no secret. We simply accept, align, allow. AAA, y'all. Start the day on the high five, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy every day. To start the day on the high five, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Let's go. Get on with our beautiful day ahead of us. Good morning, Susie Cobb. Woo is right. Let's have a beautiful, blessed, amazing, miraculous day. What do you say? I'm ready for that. And Gracie says the AAA, accept, align, allow with giggles. That's right. Those giggles are important. The laughter is important. The smiles are important. So I'll be back in an hour with Dr. Ruth Anderson, and we'll be doing some excavating and figuring out what the angels want us to focus on today. And then later tonight at 7 Eastern Time, I will be doing the angel class, and we'll be focusing on Archangel Raphael. There will be an activation of his energy and attunement to him, and a meditation for Raphael, with Raphael. He'll be leading it. And let's just see how we can work with him over the coming month to find that healing that's so needed and so wanted in our lives. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here this morning. Many, many, many blessings to all of you. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye for now.